Well, we had a good in-depth conversation, and I believe general consensus is to go ahead and table this item at this time. So I would motion to table this item.
Second.
Okay, Mayor made the motion, Vice Mayor seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, very good.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Fausto.
Thank you very much.
Okay, item 3 under new business, appointing a council representative to the Building Community Grant Review Committee, waiving certain grant program procedures and deadlines for the current grant cycle, and opening the grant application process. And Mr. Rodriguez typically oversees this, but he may not be here at the moment. Okay, so we'll just wait a minute.
Here comes Cyclops.
No worries.
Okay, Mayor, Council, I need to give you some background. I'm Rudy Rodriguez. I'm the Admin Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Just some background to start with. The Building Community Grant Program was developed to help 501c3s, local 501c3s, with funding opportunity to get projects and programs off the ground. Not necessarily for maintenance and operations, mostly for one-time type projects. As I mentioned in the council communication, these are usually, they can work on a 3-year cycle, meaning that if someone gets a grant, they can't apply for it, or they will not even be considered for a 3-year period. So we give other 501c3s an opportunity to compete. We have a committee that consists of representatives from the City Council, and today we're requesting a City Council member from the Planning Commission, Park Commission, Library Board, City staff, and 2 citizens at large. And we're lacking a council member, and we're lacking 1 citizen at large. Mayor Linsky was our citizen at large last year while he was running for mayor. And besides the member from the council that we need, we're also asking that council waive a couple of provisions of this program. This is a $15,000 program, very small compared to the rest of our budget. And if you look at the procedures I put outlined there, it's a little bit cumbersome. You know, it takes months of work, beginning with the revenue update, which I did give council. But then we have to get council to determine the funding priorities for that particular, for that cycle, not necessarily for the program, for that cycle, which of course is our strategic plan, gives us an idea. But this basically doesn't necessarily fit in the strategic plan per se, because all it is a small amount of money, and the priorities are brought to us by the 501c3s. The other item, of course, is the review committee will be responsible for preparing the RFP. Traditionally, we go ahead and put together the RFP, and we shouldn't have the committee put it together. The committee will be reviewing the program, the criteria, this year for the following year. So we're asking that we waive these 3 sections that are highlighted there. The RFP is out right now. It is due back on April the 27th at 10 a.m. But however, I'd like to go ahead and build this committee back up. Nancy Gothchuk has taken her name off as one of our citizens at large. Apparently, she will be submitting an application for this particular grant. So I'm lacking 1 member, 1 citizen at large, which we can go ahead and find. If you have some suggestions, please email them to me. And we need 1 council member to have the full committee in place. All these other members that are listed on here for the 2017 Building Community Grant Program have already said that they would be happy to serve on it this upcoming year. Just so you know, if you want to be the council member, this doesn't take a whole lot of your time. We try to limit it to 30 to 45 minutes of discussions. You will get the packet ahead of time with all the RFPs. We have some minor discussions, but we try to break them into 30-minute chunks or 45-minute chunks so it doesn't take up too much of your time. And I usually poll everybody and ask them, when is a good time? Is it in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon? I have no problems. I get paid whether I come in the morning or late night. So as long as we can try to get this, as many of these members together, we're pleased with it. With that being said, I'll be happy to answer any questions. I did put in all the notices of the packet current application as it is, a sample agreement, the policy that we'll be looking at as a committee. All we're asking is we're well into this calendar year, and we'd like to go ahead and waive those 3 provisions because we think that's a little bit too onerous for $15,000. And our biggest concern is not necessarily a long, lengthy policy and procedures. We're looking to streamline it and get that money out to the public as of July 1st of 2017.
Okay. Well, I was appointed by the previous council to serve on this, and I found it to be a good process. And I'd actually like to see us maybe in the coming years expand this program to absorb some of the other 501c3s that have sort of become a line item on the budget, so that we can expand the amount of money that goes there, but pull that out of the line item from our budget and put it in here so they all compete to provide the services. And I understand that you want to waive these, but I think they're important, especially City Council will determine funding priorities for that funding cycle. I think it's important that we have an opportunity to. This is another opportunity for us to achieve our strategic directives, through some of the organizations in our community. So I think it'd be important for them to understand what our priorities are as a council.
I think you have a good point, but I think that could be probably addressed at maybe the initial meeting with the strategic plan being presented to them, and it also gives those citizens an opportunity to look at the strategic plan if they haven't approved it.
Right. Because
remembering that they're going to come in with programs that not necessarily fit our strategic plan, but they're good programs.
Right.
That's what makes it difficult. But we would be happy to put in, and I can do it this year, as along with the first packet, and you may recall it was a nice binder put together. I can put in a strategic plan in there so that the committee can look at it, as well as anyone who's going to go ahead and put in for an RFP.
Certainly. I mean, I think it'd be nice if they could advance our directives, through this program.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody have an interest in serving on this? I can attest that it doesn't take a lot of time, and it was, it's satisfying.
I do. I would be interested.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Can I make a motion?
Sure. If there's no further discussion, yeah, of course.
Any discussion? Anybody else want it? No? Okay. I move to appoint council member Deb Althouse to serve on the Building Community Grants Committee to waive certain program procedures and deadlines in the current funding cycle, and to direct the committee to solicit applications for grant funding and bring recommendations to the council at its earliest opportunity.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Allen made the motion and Pfeiffer seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion passes. Now, I would encourage everyone, too, to try to get a citizen at large, to apply as well. And they would just contact staff, I guess, is how that works?
Just email me. Any person, I'll be happy to contact them and see if we can't get, I have no problem with the more the merrier. If we want to get more eyes on this, I'd be more than happy to have more citizens involved. Okay.
And the final question is this RFP, how are you advertising that?
That part of that is mostly on our website. A lot of it is through word of mouth. We've had a number of people give us a call about it, so we're trying to get it out as best as possible. It went out on our Facebook page also. Good. And of course the newspaper, our traditional means of advertising.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Mayor Council.
Thank you.
I move to pay the claims and adjustments.
Okay. So. Councilmember Allen made the motion. Councilmember Norton seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item 11, executive session. Annual review of the city manager pursuant to ARS 38-431-0.03 A1, discussion or consideration of employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, demotion, dismissal, salaries, disciplining or resignation of a public officer, appointee, or employee of any public body, except that, with the exception of salary discussions, an officer, appointee, or employee may demand that the discussion or consideration occur at a public meeting. The council may vote to convene into executive session, subject to the city manager's right to compel the council to discuss this matter in open meeting. And Mr. Bartosh, what's your preference?
My preference is executive session.
Okay, very good. Then I will move to go into executive session.
Second.
Okay, Mayor made the motion, Councilmember Piper made the seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
That was
Thanks.
good, though.